This dude goes from zero to hero, total loser to somehow dating the hottest girl in school. So Jiru, dude's so socially awkward, he's the type to watch a YouTube tutorial just to talk to a girl. Like some of you. His only friend? Kamo. Together, they're basically those guys who live in their mom's basement. You know, the type who fantasize about virtual waifus instead of talking to real ones. And yeah, the rest of the school, they don't even pretend to be nice. They straight up label these two as NPCs. But, plot twist, Jiru's been down bad for Akari, like school's literal queen bee, the kind of girl who could control half of the dudes in her school. Problem is, my boy Jiru can't even breathe near her without his social anxiety speedrunning to 100%. And it gets worse. Akari, she's already crushing on Tenji. You know, the guy with the main character buff. Smart, smooth, everyone's fav dude. But hold up, it gets juicier. Jiru's also got feelings for Shiori, his childhood friend since middle school. But here's the kicker. Dude still can't work up the courage to tell her. His fantasy of being the lead in some perfect love story, dead on arrival before he even got started. And then, out of nowhere, the school drops the most cringe exam in history. A romance practical test. I'm not even joking. They gotta pair up with a girl in class and play house like it's The Sims. The better your marriage score, the more you can swap partners with other high-ranking duos. Basically, a school-sanctioned dating reality show. And somehow, against all odds, he gets paired up with Akari for a school exam. Yep, you heard that right. The dude who can barely talk to girls is now fake dating the one girl way out of his league. Meanwhile, plot twist, Shiori, his childhood friend, is stuck with Tenji. Yeah, the same Tenji who's already Akari's crush. And this is about to get messy. Akari's thinking. Akari's over here thinking, I'll just use this loser for a good grade, then go back to my real crush. How dare you? Akari thinks she's starring in some cute love story. Reality says otherwise. She wanted Tenji as her partner, but the universe said nah and gave her Jiru instead, the human equivalent of a participation trophy, the guy who makes wallflowers look social. Akari's dreams just got wrecked harder than a pop-up ad. So, the exam starts. Day one of their fake relationship. They have to act all lovey-dovey for grades, and by lovey-dovey, I mean they're doing those painfully awkward couple things that make you cringe through your teeth. Then suddenly, Jiru's, anaconda decides to wake up. Awkward, right? The next day, Akari ropes Jiru into making breakfast together. Sounds sweet, right? This is all part of her master plan to look cute before ditching him for Tenji. Jiru's fully aware, I see what you're doing, but hey, he's not gonna bail on this drama yet. At school, she acts like he's a stranger. Brutal, man. Ice cold. Then, cue the twist. One rainy afternoon, Jiru's just vibing alone, minding his business, when Shiori, his childhood friend, barges in and pulls a plot twist. She invites him to wait out the storm with her, and out of nowhere, hugs him. Yep, straight up hugs. Jiru's brain, complete meltdown. He's like, is this a trap? Is this real life? But nah, Shiori's just a good friend who thinks a hug is normal. For Jiru though, this is emotional whiplash. Akari really pulled up with an umbrella like that's gonna fix all the emotional damage she caused. Then one day, while Jiru's spacing out about Shiori, Akari hits him with, hey, let's watch a scary movie tonight. And here comes the chaos. Akari mentions she bought matching pajamas for the two of them. Matching pajamas. Jiru's like, oh snap, this is the first time a girl's bought me something. But things get wild. They try on the pajamas and boom, the lights go out. Turns out Akari is terrified of the dark and now she's literally glued to Jiru like a scared puppy. She's not letting go. They find a candle, light it up, and then, slowly but surely, Akari falls asleep on his shoulder. He's basically living his own awkward romance, but still, he's getting that one-on-one attention from the girl he's been dying for. By the time morning hits, they're both passed out on the couch, and guess what? Their cozy night got them a rank B on the exam, just one step below the top tier. Jiru and Akari were living their best fake couple life, rank B and feeling untouchable. They were this close to unlocking the premium drama feature, swapping partners. But then, Tenji and Shiori's toxic dumpster fire of a duo crashed straight into rank E. Later that night, Jiru caught a fever so bad, even his anime crush hallucinations started buffering. He hit up Akari like, "Yo, help me, I'm dying," and she left him on read to go vibe with the girl squad. Out of nowhere, Shiori pulled up at his door with nurse mode activated. Childhood crush, real life. Jiru's heart went full gymnastics, but every time she got close, bro turned into a human error message. And then, flashbacks. All those L's he took by never confessing. All those moments he fumbled the bag and settled for the friendzone DLC. Pain. Next day, Akari switched up like she was trying to unlock the perfect housewife achievement, making him breakfast, packing lunch, even hand-feeding him after school. And then she said they needed to kiss for extra credit. My guy's brain straight up blue screened. But right when their lips were about to clock in, Shiori busted in like it was a love triangle raid boss, holding bread she baked with Tenji. Akari's whole vibe shifted. The smile? Gone. She was spiraling, low-key thinking her crush might swap teams. Jiru, trying to save the situation with the emotional intelligence of a wet sock, joked that Tenji was simping for Akari's, assets. Akari clapped back like, "Bet, let's do a biology study session then." Bro fumbled again. He said she should save that energy for Tenji. And that was the moment he speedran his way into rank E girl, went full Ice Queen. Meanwhile, Tenji and Shiori power-leveled their way to rank B like it was nothing. Watching his best bro spiral into romantic poverty, Kamo tried to hype Jiru up like a bootleg motivational speaker. And with a single brain cell of courage left, Jiru went back to Akari's room to apologize for rejecting her very generous biology study offer. Let's just say, the damage might already be done. Hearing this, Akari straight up told Jiru to slide into her room. No, not like that. Calm down. She just wanted to talk, or so we thought. Anyway, our boy Jiru walks in like a nervous wreck and suddenly blurts out that, yeah, he did want to study biology with her. And not the school kind, he's talking that biology. Why? Cause Akari's literally the hottest girl on campus and his hormones hit max level. But plot twist, he pulls back, says he doesn't deserve her. Bro rejected his own fantasy. Then, out of nowhere, Akari says, "Well, guess what? I like you too." But she was kidding. She hit him with the emotional drive-by. Man got whiplash and heartbreak in one combo. Jiru dips, probably to go cry silently, while Akari sits there realizing she accidentally spilled her real feelings, and immediately gaslights herself into saying it was a joke. Classic tsundere behavior. Next day, after the school's basketball game, drama gets an update. Akari's told to clean up the gear room, right? Tenji shows up. Box almost drops on Akari's head, and this dude dives in like a shoujo knight, saves her. Kamo saw this and misunderstood Tenji and Akari. Meanwhile, Jiru met Shiori, who had just returned. Right then, Tenji and Akari casually walk out of the room together, and Jiru sees her looking pale and out of it. Man's heart drops faster than his rank. Something's off, and he knows it. So Jiru's day was already cooked, but then Kamo pulls up with some tea straight out of a telenovela. Apparently, he accidentally walked in on Tenji and Akari locking lips in the supply closet, like straight up mouth to mouth. And Jiru, bro just accepted his fate like a side character in his own love story. He figured, well, makes sense, Tenji's the golden boy Akari's been eyeing anyway. But wait, plot twist alert. That night, Jiru tries to be a gentleman about it. He congratulates Akari for scoring Tenji, and even mentions the alleged kiss. But then Akari just stands there like she got hit with a Windows error message. Girl was straight up confused. She's like, "What kiss?" Turns out there was no kiss. Tenji didn't even make a move. Matter of fact, Akari hits him with the reverse card. She drops the bomb that the first and only guy who's ever kissed her was actually Jiru. Yup, my boy Jiru had the main character moment and didn't even know it. But Akari's mood flips again. Suddenly, she's all sad because apparently Tenji just told her he's sticking with Shiori no matter what. Even if they hit rank A, bro locked himself into that duo. Fast forward to nighttime, and here's where things get spicy. Akari shows up wearing Jiru's shirt and starts getting way too comfy, like they've been soft launching a relationship this whole time. Jiru's brain? Completely fried. He's confused, but also low-key enjoying the situation because, let's be real, Akari's packing premium assets and zero chill. Next morning, she's acting like the perfect wifey, fixing his messy tie before school like it's her full-time job. So rumors been flying around school, everyone's saying Akari's been spending way more time with Jiru than trying to shoot her shot at Tenji. Like, girl basically swapped her main quest. And plot twist, some of their friends are actually shipping it. They're like, maybe ditch Tenji and lock in with Jiru. Sure, he's a loser with more waifu than social skills, but he's a good dude. Just when Akari finally builds the courage to talk to Jiru, she walks in on him being all cozy in class with Shiori. Just the two of them. Alone. Lights off? Nah, but the vibe is suspicious. Turns out Shiori was just helping him clean up cause it was his chore day, but Akari saw that and instantly went full sad mode. She felt like someone had suddenly interfered in her moment. That night, Akari tries to play it cool. She whips up a warm drink for Jiru, rom-com energy unlocked, and sits him down all, okay, so maybe you could stop calling me Watanabe, like we're co-workers at an office and just use my actual name? But Jiru? My man fumbled the bag in 4K, he said no. And Akari? She straight up hit him with the emotional Uno reverse. She's like, cool, guess I'm just out here loving you solo then. Cause funny how Shiori gets the first name treatment while I'm stuck with the last name leftovers. Next day, Karma pulled up with a clipboard. Test results dropped. And bruh, they flunked. Like bottom tier couple vibes. So now they're forced to do a makeup practical exam, which is basically the school telling them, congrats, y'all failed love, now go live together again and don't embarrass yourselves this time. But plot twist, Akari's not even pressed. No tears, no tantrums, girls just vibing with the whole thing. Then it's nighttime, and Jiru's out here trying to run a clean, wholesome tutoring session with Akari to boost their class rank. Man just wants to study. But Akari, she's not here for math problems, she's here to test Jiru's self-control stat. And spoiler, his resistance roll is low. Then Akari starts dropping flirty jokes during study time like she's on a dating show, and poor Jiru, God love his awkward soul, completely short circuits. Dude's brain got stuck halfway between math problems and hormones, like a computer trying to run too many programs at once. He almost let the anaconda out the cage, bro. But just in time, he slapped himself back into reality and hit that emergency mental reset. The next morning, Jiru feels off. Something's different. Akari's suddenly glued to his side like she's his new shadow, but she keeps using his last name like they're strangers in some cheesy TV show. At first, Jiru's like, whatever, but after hearing it a dozen times, man starts getting annoyed. So he flips the script, calls her by her first name for the first time ever, and Akari, instant glitch. Girl turned into a blushing, overheating toaster. After that, she drops the whole surname act and calls him by his real name too, then basically tackles him in a hug like she's trying to set a world record for fastest relationship upgrade. But wait, plot twist incoming. At school, Jiru hears his childhood friend Shiori collapsed and is in the nurse's office. He bolts over like a loyal puppy, just being a good friend and checking on her. Enter Sachi, Akari's resident troublemaker friend, who happens to wander by the nurse's office. She spots 2 pairs of shoes and immediately jumps to the worst possible conclusion. You know, that kind of studying that definitely isn't about academics. Naturally, she races off to gossip to Akari. But before she can even open her mouth, Akari gets a text from Jiru. In nurse's office. Cue complete meltdown. Akari's mind immediately goes to worst case scenario. She's convinced Jiru and Shiori are getting hands-on with anatomy lessons. So how does Akari handle it? She totally storms off to some random coffee shop to pout dramatically, like the lead in one of those overly emotional teen movies where it's always raining. But plot twist, when she finally comes home, Jiru's waiting for her. This man cooked dinner, cleaned the whole place, then crashed on the couch like a tired puppy. And Akari, she walks in, sees all this, and switches to hot mode out of nowhere. Next thing you know, girl crawls into bed next to him like it's a soft launch honeymoon. No warning, no dialogue, just quiet chaos. The next morning, Jiru woke up with his arm completely numb, and bro was confused, like why his arm felt like it just rage quit life. Turns out, Akari had been passed out on top of him all night, sleeping like a baby on a damn couch like it was her queen-sized bed. And just when Jiru thought that was the weirdest part, nah. Akari woke up, stretched like a cat, and straight up said he went full biology class on her last night. And not just any biology, extra credit level practice. Jiru was like, wait, that was my first time doing anything. And Akari, she lit up like it was Christmas morning. Why? because that meant Jiru didn't do anything with Saori back in the nurse's office like she thought. Yup, dude was still a certified innocent. Fast forward a few days, and summer festival season rolled in hot. Akari was hyped and asked Jiru to help her with her kimono. Dude barely knew how to tie his own shoelaces, but somehow he nailed the ribbon like a pro. Real MVP behavior. And why? Because Akari had plans to meet Tenji that night. Jiru just helped her prep to go see another dude. Pain. But here's the plot twist. When Akari finally pulled up at the festival looking like an anime main character, Sachi told her, Tenji might not even be coming. Akari was crushed. She dressed up like that for nothing, then boom, betrayal level 99. She spotted Tenji. Dude was very much at the festival, but not alone. He was cozying up with Saori like it was their honeymoon. Akari's whole soul left her body on sight. Cut to Jiru, chillin' on the balcony like a sad boy, and he gets a call. It's Akari, sobbing, telling him to come meet her as soon as possible. Bro grabbed his jacket like it was a rescue mission, but when he opened the door, Akari was already there, crying her eyes out in front of his room. Jiru froze. She looked so broken, like the final boss just stole her heart. And like the emotionally responsible king he was slowly becoming, Jiru wrapped her in the softest, most comforting hug of his life. Fireworks exploded in the sky behind them, and Akari? She clutched Jiro's hand like she never wanted to let go. That night, she didn't care about Tenji rankings or the stupid fake marriage test. She just wanted him. And yeah, it finally clicked. Maybe Jiru wasn't just some background NPC in her story. Maybe he was the real main character all along. A few days go by, and bad news hits like a Monday morning. Jiru and Akari just found out they flunked the romance exam again. Yup, these two still stuck in remedial, while everyone else out here chasing rank B like it's prom queen status. But here's the weird part, Akari? Girl didn't complain at all. Then suddenly, Akari's yelling Jiru's name like someone just broke into their room, and it was a spider. Just one tiny spider. But to her, it might as well have been a demon from another dimension. So, Jiru, who was literally in the middle of taking a shower, gets dragged into full-time bodyguard duty. All day. Just to protect her from this 8-legged menace. And while they're chilling, she randomly starts throwing in some romance energy. Jiru's over here fighting for his life, trying to keep his anaconda from going full jungle. But then, the spider comes back, and Akari completely loses it. She grabs Jiru like he's a bulletproof vest, straight up putting him in a headlock. Dude couldn't breathe, blink, or form a coherent thought. She was holding on tighter than a loser holding his phone. Just when things couldn't get worse. New school announcement, beach trip. Whole class heads to the shore for what should be fun in the sun. That is, until their teacher drops the bomb, they have to work a shift at the beach cafe. No easy money, no breaks. Just heat and hard work. Of course, who gets paired in the kitchen? Jiru and Saori, his childhood friend, the other girl, and Jiru, smiling like he just won the lottery. Guy thinks his time has finally come, but fate had other plans. Next day, beach games. Losers have to do grocery shopping. And who loses? You guessed it, Jiru and Akari, because the universe decided these two needed more awkward moments. They get the groceries, start heading back, then bam, Akari suddenly hugs him. Like full-on, no warning, knock the wind out of you hug. Hits him with the, "Why are you avoiding me?" Voice cracking like she's in a soap opera. Turns out Jiru had been keeping his distance. Says he didn't want to ruin whatever summer thing she had going with Tenji. Like maybe this trip was special for them. Fast forward to nighttime, everyone's either asleep or zoning out, except Akari. Girl drags Jiru to the beach like she's starting a secret mission. And her goal, let's just say, she wanted to practice some adult education. And not the classroom kind. Jiru had been catching cold stares from her all vacation long whenever he got a little too friendly with Saori, so now Akari's out here flipping the script. She starts flaunting her, let's say, high-ranking assets, and basically dares him to look. Bro was trying to be respectful, but Akari was doing the absolute most. Man's willpower was hanging by a thread. Then boom, surprise guests, Saori and her girl Mei show up out of nowhere to vibe on the same beach. Instant panic. Jiru and Akari dive under the nearest shack like two agents avoiding a mission fail. But Akari couldn't keep her mouth shut, almost blowing their cover with every extra word. Somehow they dodged a disaster. But Jiru? He was cooked, mind melting. The temptation was right there, front row seats to the show, but somehow he kept it together, even though his inner anaconda was this close to clocking in. Fast forward a few days, and the gang decides to wrap up their summer trip with a classic haunted forest dare. Jiru links up with Kamo to rig the pairings. He wants to team up with Shiori, but also throws a wild card by suggesting Akari go with Tenji. Dude's out here trying to play Cupid and fix his own love triangle at the same time. Night rolls around. The test of courage begins. First duo to enter the woods? Akari and Tenji, but of course, Akari being Akari, somehow drops her phone 5 minutes in and gets herself lost. Tenji's nowhere to be found, and Akari's deep in a horror movie setup, alone, in the dark, and one jump scare away from tears. Meanwhile, Jiru picks up on the situation and ditches Shiori mid-challenge. No hesitation. He knows Akari's got major beef with the dark, so he's on a rescue mission like he's starring in his own rom-com reboot. Back in the woods, Akari finally hears footsteps and thinks her knight in shining hoodie has arrived. But plot twist, it's not Jiru, it's Tenji. They find shelter, and Akari decides to get real about her feelings. Except Tenji? Cold as ice. Turns out, dude's been carrying middle school trauma like it's emotional luggage. Got rejected once, and now he's sworn off romance like it's cursed. Instead, he pulls a wild card move, tells Akari she should stop chasing him and start seeing what's right in front of her. Because the one guy who's been down for her through every breakdown and highlight reel, that's been Jiru all along. So after getting hit with that emotional wake-up call from Tenji, the man who basically hit her with a "girl, not you," Akari finally snapped out of her delusional phase. Sis looked back at her highlight reel and realized she's been benching the only dude who actually showed up for her while chasing some trauma-coded man with commitment issues. Like, girl, this ain't Pinterest, this is real life. Next morning, she woke up with a new mission, straight to the shrine. She legit prayed to the gods for one thing, make Jiru her man. Full send, she's done playing games, and the divine intervention is now officially on speed dial. Summer break ends, everyone packs up their feelings and heads back home. Jiru, being the certified introvert he is, runs straight to the library like it's his safe space, just trying to vibe with some books. But, of course, plot twist. Guess who just happens to be there? Shiori, and she's not letting this accidental meetup go to waste. They chat for a bit, then it starts pouring, like the universe wants this moment to escalate. Then Shiori invites Jiru to her room for the first time. Yeah, you heard that right. Jiru walks in and is immediately hit with shock, like bro's never seen a room so clean it looked like an IKEA demo unit. And this is shared with Tenji? Wild, curious, and a little messy, Jiru brings up the elephant in the room. What's really going on between her and Tenji? And Shiori just casually drops the bomb. She's not into Tenji like that, at all. Zero feelings. Bro's getting friend-zoned in 4K. Later that day, just when Jiru thinks his life can't get any weirder, bam, message from Akari. Out of nowhere. Girls asking him out. Like, full-on real date. No school project, no social experiment, just Akari being real for once. Jiru's brain short-circuits. This girl who's been giving him whiplash all summer is suddenly in her choose me, love me era. He pulls up to the date, and boom, Akari shows up dressed like she's trying to make him forget every other girl on Earth. Bro was sweating in slow motion. They go on this date, and it's not awkward, not forced, just vibes. For once, Akari's not faking it. This ain't some extra credit assignment. She's fully decided. Jiru is the one, not Tenji, not any backup dude, just this goofy, soft-spoken boy who's been there through it all. But just when you think it's about to be a happy ending, of course not. Chaos knocks again. Akari wants to seal the deal with a couple's prayer at the shrine. Romantic, right? Until, guess who's waiting there like it's a scheduled boss battle? Yup, Shiori. Akari doesn't flinch. She looks Shiori dead in the eyes and says, "Let's race." First one to the top of the shrine wins the boyfriend. No joke. This girl turned her love life into a literal Olympic event. They sprint up the stairs like it's the finale of a dating show. But at the top, plot twist. A mysterious old man pops out, and somehow he looks like Jiru from the year 2089. The universe is clearly on drugs. Anyway, they all end up praying. Jiru, Akari, Shiori. 3 hopefuls, 1 confused boy, infinite awkward energy. Who's gonna end up with this socially anxious king? That's a mystery for Season 2. Thanks for watching. This is Dem Recaps. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.